Good morning. It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see changes, we need to shift and flow with the energy inside of ourselves in order to see those changes take place around us. So it's kind of interesting. It's like we don't change so much. We just shift our energy so that the environment around us and our perspective on the things that are happening are changing. It's kind of interesting. Let's see. I covered up everything I needed. Love that. We're doing the release and rebuild spread. This is one I designed myself, where on one side we look at the releasing energy of the feminine side of self. This does not mean gender. So if you're here to learn about a person, you're going to gain insight whether we're talking about the feminine or the masculine, because all of this energy is going to be reflected back to you in some way. And it's your work to find out where those places intersect between you and your person. So the feminine side of self will release, and the masculine side of self in the Emperor spread is going to rebuild. So I'm changing my readings a little bit because I put a lot of time into them, which is good, but it might be a little bit too much in terms of me actually having enough time to do paid readings. So I'm going to be reducing the oracle section. I'm going to highlight a different oracle every day, but I'm only going to use probably 3 from now on instead of so many oracles. But that'll be the healing portion. And we're going to start now with the card that will help us focus the messages. So we come here with a goal, with an agenda usually. We want to feel better. We want our person to come back. We want to not need our person to come back. We want to get a career. We want to pursue our passions, right? There's all these reasons that we come here and we show up, etc. And we have a desire that when we get the messages that it's going to bring us that thing that our ego wants. But I want to start every reading, as long as I remember to do so, with what would be for the highest good of all. Not necessarily just what you think is good, but what is actually good for everyone, not just you. Also, do you love my puppy scratch? I was playing a little too hard with my puppy yesterday and she went in. She's so heavy now. Like if her paws are flailing around, it's like, forget it. You're going to get lacerated. All right. And the reason I'm late hello, Natalie. The reason I'm late on the release and rebuild, which I normally do on Fridays, is just because I had a really good time on Thursday night. Like very, very good. I laughed the hardest I have laughed. Like my face hurt, my stomach hurt. Like it was so fun. And the food was like incredible. It was my friend Anais threw a party in Hollywood at her place, and she had the cutest little dogs ever, and everybody was so nice and so fun, and it was incredible. And I did readings there, which was cool, but I did like slightly tipsy readings, and that's when you're like inviting spirit in. And when I woke up the next day, the tipsiness and the readings just drained me, and I knew I wasn't going to be like just able to really give you my all. So I apologize that I wasn't there yesterday morning, but here I am today. And that person that I'm getting to know asked me for a reading in front of everybody about love. It was very interesting. And it was like every card that we see on the divine masculine side all the time. So definitely collective energy going on there and some shit to work through. Okay. Here is what would be for the highest good of all right now. This is death. But this is transformation. It's an ending to the old ways and allowing new ways to be reborn. It's no longer letting the things that you did in the past that made you continue to have the same cycles over and over. It's just really cutting those things out, ending those things, and letting something new be born in its place. I'm seeing this. You're saying my ego wants him back just so I can refuse him. Well, there you go. So there's something in there about pride, right? That you're needing to work through. I don't want that. Like right now, if my twin came in, I would be like I don't want to have to refuse my twin. So I'm just like, just hopefully you're not my actual twin and you're never coming and we're good. That's where I'm at right now. All right, let's see what the divine feminine needs to release. All right, so the general energy surrounding the feminine side of self is in the headspace. I'm using the Muse tarot. We have the Knight of Voices or the Knight of Swords. And then in the heart space, the Ostara tarot, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. And this is a hawk here. This creeps me out for some reason. I don't know. I've got like a thing, you know, the like, you don't like the holes close together thing. I don't know. This is like hitting that part of me. I'm like, ew, why is it coming out of them? Like, no, like anyway. But this is like from the heart, communication from the heart. And of course the hawk has the ability to like hone in and move fast towards its prey, swoop in and like scoop them up. Ew, I'm just going to cover that up. Okay. Anyway, y'all saw, you know, the wands were there. Okay. All the way that freaks me out. Okay. Anyway, so what's interesting is both of these cards are about communication. Ooh, some of the dream that I was having last night is starting to like come back to me a little bit, relevant to this energy. But anyway, the headspace wants to be in integrity, wants to be truthful, wants to be honest, wants to move swiftly to bring the truth in. The heart space is afraid to communicate the feelings that the headspace is ready for. Okay. The heart space might also be afraid you're not going to hear what you want to hear, or that you're not going to be able to say what you want to say. Okay. That's the general energy surrounding what needs to be released. The hidden assistance that oh, the universe is funny. And by funny, I mean hilarious. And by hilarious, I mean annoying. Okay, anyway. So the hidden assistance for you is the Two of Wands, also known as the Twin Flame card, also known as the card where you're just waiting and asking for something. And in the planning stages, in the planning phases. And honestly, your plans are sort of not even that helpful because the universe is taking care of it and you don't really need to plan anything, but this is waiting. What are you waiting for? The Two of Cups in reverse. And spoiler alert, we're going to see the Two of Cups over on the masculine side. So the hidden assistance is that your twin flame relationship never became a physical union. That's what's the hidden assistance, that you aren't physically together, that you're waiting. This can also be telling me that your hidden assistance literally was the twin flame journey, that this is what is helping you now be very honest with yourself, be in your integrity about communication. Being honest with yourself that there's someone who's not communicating with you. Because my twin has said, the person, I'm gonna change how I talk about it. The person that I have always associated with my twin, 9:44 on the clock, has still not communicated with me. So maybe I'm wrong about my twin. All right, let's see. What past experience do I need to release? Look at, you're only supposed to have 2 cards here. Shame on you. you got a loaded experience to release. We got to look at that space first. We got the Page of Wands in reverse. And we've got the Muse of Pentacles, which is the King of Pentacles energy. In this deck, all of the kings are transverse. for some reason. So very interesting, and also reflective energy there, right? The Four of Pentacles in the heart space and the Five of Swords. And I got to tell you, I keep seeing this card. So the story of what must needs be released right now. All right. The spark or feeling or chemistry that was present for a specific masculine energy is no more. This feeling, the spark is gone. The fire has died. The excitement, the anticipation for a specific person, gone. And having old ideas about this person is what is quelling the fire. And not being able to let go. I see you there saying, I'm trying so hard to stop waiting. Not being able to let go, this Four of Pentacles, not being able to move on. It's so interesting that in this Four of Pentacles card, there's a boat. Because for me, the Four of Pentacles is not about movement. So it's interesting that there is a boat here. And then we're getting the Five of Swords where we've got this snake-like energy, which I associate with transformation, death energy, because of shedding skin, etc. But it's also associated with temptation, sneaky energy, whispers. And these, of course, are the thoughts. It's very hard not to see those swords as physical implements, but they are supposed to represent mental ones. This is the nervous system and the mind, right? The Five of Swords is about feeling defeated, and it is about there being, too many decisions to have to make. And there's like a truth kind of cutting through all those decisions. And the truth is that maybe neither one of the choices is a good choice. And it's time to walk away. And I think what's interesting is that, like I said, we never see the Four of Pentacles with a boat, but this Four of Pentacles has a boat. And so it's like, it's almost like I need to take my shit and go kind of a thing. Especially, this is like a pirate. It's like a rabbit that's a pirate. So there's also this element here that somebody has come in and stolen something, taken something. So the things I'm feeling is that for the feminine identifying energy, it is very difficult for her to tune into the spark she once had for a specific person. Even though she can't let go, she's trying to like move on, like with this person still in her mind, because she's sort of defeated by not being able to let go, but she's still trying to make moves to get away from the thoughts that have been defeating her, because she wants to be able to have a physical and material King of Pentacles. For the masculine identifying person that has feminine energy within, I feel that they are feeling their immature communication is defeating them. Like their inability to start or initiate a conversation coming from the lack of worthiness has caused them to focus on the material and make movements in financially to try to establish worthiness, but defeated their ability to communicate, because for as long as they're focused on the material and not focused on the feminine energy, they can't move forward. How do we know that? Because of the impasse of this tugging energy. Knight of Swords, I must communicate. Heart, I'm too afraid. Divine Feminine, I must hear the truth. Heart, I don't think I will. So you see how this works, how I'm reading quote unquote the feminine side, but it's applying to a person as a whole, not just oh, this is your side because you're a feminine and the other side is your person. This is all you, and it can be reflected back in the way your person acts towards you, okay? And they're only acting that way towards you because of this energy. And you're being told right now that you need to release this very stronghold that has been defeating your ability to make decisions to move forward. You have to release that. And the masculine person must do the same thing. They must release this immature communication that has not allowed them to make decisions to come forward. Same thing. So when you decide, feminine, to let go, the masculine must also do the same thing. If your twin is your twin, they will show up and they will communicate. Mine still hasn't, but the other person that's entered my life is communicating with me. And what's interesting is people are like, oh, well, soulmates are easier. So if it's your soulmate, like it'll be easier. And then when I did that reading, I was like, this person still has stuff to clean up. But they communicated to me about it. So it's a different energy. So let go of those labels. It was your hidden assistance that you had this label and started on this journey, and that this relationship didn't pan out for you. This is what's been helping you. But what's been helping you is not being with the twin. Not being with them. So you have to ask yourself why. If the universe doesn't want you to be with somebody, there's probably a reason. Okay? So what can I do right now to soothe myself? We have the moon and the Knight of Wands. Very interesting. The moon is about fear and anxiety, subconscious, telepathic communication, cosmic energy, tuning into the divine feminine, intuition, enlightenment or illumination. Illumination. I think the sun is enlightenment, the moon is illumination, shining light, and then when we arrive at the sun, we're fully enlightened. And then the Knight of Wands, when it's upright like this, it's about something that we love, really sweeping us off our feet. This can also be about dreams, passion, spontaneity, inspiration. Now, what you needed to release was a lack of inspiration, right? And it might be feeling like you have a hard time thinking of yourself in this king of materials, king of pentacles energy, this worthiness, stability, financial stability, showing up in the world, showing up for yourself, showing up for others. This might be the thing that's keeping you really from letting go of this other person. Because usually, you're fixated on another person because your own life is not compelling enough to captivate your attention. And so that's why this is telling me what will soothe you. What will soothe you is if you feel truly captivated by your own dreams, by having dreams that don't involve another person. Why do all of your dreams involve a masculine? Think about it. Close your eyes. Find the point in your life, because it wasn't when you were little. Because we ask any 4-year-olds and they're like, ew, boys, like. So just ask yourself, when did you forget about your dreams that were your own dreams? And they always became about these tandem dreams. No. Even in my own life, I'm a musician, and it's been really difficult for me to pursue my music as consistently as my tarot. And I've been questioning myself, why? I love music. I always have. When I do it, I feel whole. I feel perfect. And it's because it was wrapped up in my twin. I didn't intend for that to happen. It's just what happened. And so it wasn't my own dream. It wasn't. I don't even know what my dream would have been if it weren't for the twin. So when I released the twin, which I did on October 8th, my 13th anniversary of meeting that person in person, I realized my dreams were different than they had been when I started my journey, because my dreams were now my own. They didn't involve this other person. So you need to be inspired by your own dreams right now. You need to get into a place where your dreams are about you. And you can imagine that there's a supportive, loving energy around you, hovering around you, you know, cheering you on, giving you fun, sexy times. Like, it's not that you can't imagine a person in your life. It's that you've been imagining one person, one reality that's not your own. So what will soothe you is if you give as much vision and passion to your own dreams as you've given to this person. Think of all the room you've given to them, all the space they've enjoyed, rent-free. Start charging them rent or tell them to get the fuck out, and give the space back to yourself to do and be who you want to be. What can I expect to encounter as I make space for new energy? The Empress. This was the outcome card in my person's reading on Thursday night. I was like, it's me. The Empress, the divine feminine. This is being fertile, creative, and abundant. If you start to pour your passions into your dreams, well, you get to have an empire, right? Filled with all of your dreams. Look at, there's all those cosmic dreams. Sadness, 5 of Cups in reverse. Pessimism, focusing on the things you don't have rather than what you have. The half full cups rather than the full cups. That's a thing of the past. And oh, what's this? Oh, it's the 9 of Pentacles. You get to enjoy the rewards, the fruits of your own labor. You get to indulge in the things that you've been, holding off because you had to have this other person there to truly enjoy it. There's shows I don't watch. There are shows I would like to watch that I have thought to myself for over a year, oh, well, I want to watch this with my person now. And that person isn't even talking to me. So I didn't even let myself watch shows that I want to see. What? You have to make space for yourself. Why would it be that doing all this other stuff for this other person is your purpose or your mission? It's not. This card is about taking care of yourself. And the sadness you're feeling, you're sad about a person who's not treating you like an empress, right? Why? Shouldn't you feel happy that a person who can't treat you like an empress is not allowed to come at you right now? But for some reason we feel sad. How come? Because being treated not like a queen is normal for us. That's been normalized. It feels comfortable. We're used to it. No, that's not normal. It's like when you take a dog that's been a stray dog that suffered some kind of an abuse, and then you bring them into a comfortable environment, and it takes them quite a while to adjust to like warm bed and food that is there on time. And they have a lot of anxiety and they have a lot of fear and they're really raw and they're really sensitive. Over time, they get used to the new level of comfort. But when they're first there, very difficult. One time I picked up a man who worked with a homeless community in Skid Row. And I picked him up as a Lyft driver and drove him to his job over in Skid Row, which is an experience that is shocking to me when I moved here, because people just wander around in various states of not okay. And I mean, the police station that is there, it's just like a sea of people like lying on the streets, the steps, like all of it. It's really shocking. And he told me on the drive over to his job that he worked in that community he worked for an organization that put people in homes. And he said, you would think that the hardest part of my job was getting the place to put the people. But the hardest part was getting the people to stay in the places that they would be able to give them, because they were so used to their life on the streets that they didn't, like there was a certain amount of autonomy that you lose when you move into even my apartment building. Like, it's just a normal apartment building. It's not a halfway house. It's not, but there's limitations, right? You have to turn your music down at certain times. You have to act a certain way in the hallways, in the elevators, in the public spaces, in the laundry room, right? There's structure that these people never had. And he was telling me that he had this one woman who they couldn't figure out how to get her to stay in her home until they offered her the ability to set up a tent in her living room so she could sleep in a tent, because she never felt safe anymore sleeping in an open room. She had adjusted to the discomfort of living on the street in a tent and preferred that in the comfort of her home. This is first of all, these are things we should be thinking about. These are people that exist and people that we just forget about every day. But it's an extreme way to illustrate that you have become so comfortable that you could be basking in this, garden of earthly delights. But for some reason, you feel more comfortable sleeping in the tent. And this is what we're making space for as we let this person go. We're like, oh, I'm not supposed to go home feeling disappointed that my person promised that they were going to come and didn't come. That's not how I'm supposed to feel. I'm supposed to go home feeling the physical touch of my person's hand as they part from me. That's how I'm supposed to feel. Period. What behaviors have gotten in my way? Queen of Wands, 10 of Cups. Oh my God. 10 of Cups upright and 10 of Cups in reverse. Oh, okay. What has gotten in your way is, so the Queen of Wands is an amazing, confident, spiritual, divine, feminine, awesome, powerful queen. She's amazing. Okay? She's the best. She has the ability to hold a vision. So for her to be in what has gotten in your way, it's very telling. What has happened is she's held a vision of her spiritual fulfillment. And she's now starting to be enlightened about this. This is something that she's becoming aware of. The vision she was holding looked like this. She was clinging to this vision of these two people in union as her bliss fulfillment. When really our bliss fulfillment is composed of so much more. It's what I was saying earlier. Like, why is your vision of yourself? Why is your dream of your life just this? Listen, I love everybody hard. I do. And I love to be around everybody for as long as I can and have, like, when someone comes over to my house, I hope they come over at 2 p.m. that I get to feed them lunch, dinner, and then leftovers at 2 a.m. when we're still talking and having the best time, right? I love to be around people all the time. But I love when they leave and I go into my own room and I go to sleep and I can have my own space and I get up in the morning and I do my own thing. So it would be an absolute lie if I believed that my whole entire happiness would look like this. No, this is a portion of my happiness. This is one of the things that encompass my happiness. Ultimately, my bliss comes from learning and enlightenment. That's what makes me happy, ultimately. What has held me back was clinging to this idea that the only thing that would make me happy was union. No, I don't care how much you love a person. I don't care if you think that you're never going to get sick of them and they're never. First of all, this is your twin, honey. I think people have this like bubble gum and like, when my twin comes in, it's going to be like a Disney fairy tale. My eyes are going to get bigger. My waist is going to get thinner and I'm going to be wearing a pretty dress and I'll have a horse. Like, your twin is your twin. Your twin has been triggering you for insert X amount of time here. What would you think is going to make you stop being triggered? Oh, union. Oh, I know. Oh, no. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. Oh, when you get together, all of the problems that you've had in separation will be gone because the only problems you had were because you were in separation. Because if you were together, these things wouldn't happen. I'll just leave that there for you on the table and walk away and move on to the next position, which is, what can I do now to avoid this? Please don't kill me. It's the 4 of Wands in reverse and the 2 of Wands in reverse. And we got what was your hidden assistance, which was that your twin didn't come. So if you want to avoid the behavior where you're holding the vision of the twin, then you need to let go of the twin. I got news for you. The twin, it's not so good. Not so good for you. Really not. It was good for your development. It was good for you to become who you are. But that person that you cling to, that you think is your soulmate, that you have to be with, that you can't move on from, that you're waiting for, that's what's holding you back. That's what's getting in your way. That's what's stopping you. And you know what? I've said this message before. I've been reading for 2 years and like reading on YouTube and stuff for 2 years. And I've heard it and I've listened to it and I've never believed it. And I do right now. I do believe it right now. Because I can see the truth that I can't be with a person who cannot communicate with me. It is not possible. So for me, releasing my twin has been something I've been doing, right? I told you since October 8th. I guess the full release would be like not looking at pictures anymore, not doing any like research. Oh, does he still miss me? Is he making playlists still? Yep. Doesn't matter. No. And I've been doing that slowly. Is he doing that? Doesn't matter. No. What does matter? The person who's communicating with me right now. If I was still in the throes of my twin flame journey from a year ago, I wouldn't have seen this person. How do I know that? I've known this person for 2 years and I didn't see them. I went back and looked at the video of the night I met that person because I actually happened to have it because it was a really powerful evening where like there were 6 of us and we all just had this incredible night at the Chateau Marmont. It was like really strange and interesting. And we stayed up all night and the next morning, it was the night of a photo shoot also that I had. And the person who designed the outfit I was wearing for that photo shoot ended up being at that party that I went to. It was a really weird, like I was like wearing these red velvet pants and there was this woman and I was crying to her. She was from London and I was like, I'm just so happy that I have this confidence I have in myself now. And like, I just wish I could thank the person who designed these because they're so cool. And like when I was young, they didn't make clothes like this. And it's really important that like, no matter what you look like, you get to feel like this, like just for one night. Like I was literally like, it was a party. So everybody was drunk. And she's like, well, I'm going to blow your mind right now because I am the woman who designed your pants. She literally was the head of Forever 21's design department and had been assigned the thick collection. And she cried because she was a small petite woman and thin. And she was like, when I got that assignment, I didn't know if I was going to be able to create the moment that you just told me I created. She was like, I don't know, like what clothes. I haven't been in the position of a woman who has a body size that's like this. I don't know what do they want to cover up? Do they want to look? And she was like, and I thought about it. I thought they want to look like everyone else. And so that was my goal. Like that happened to me the night that I met this person. And I looked incredible. I was all done up for my photo shoot. And I even felt more confident than normal, but not confident enough, not awakened enough that I was thinking about anything except for my twin. What a different experience I had of this new person once I released my twin. So what is growing within me now as I move on? Very interesting. This is the Lover's card, but it is in reverse. But this is an interesting version of the Lover's card, so we'll go into it in just a second. And it's coming out with Temperance Upright. This is emotional stability that comes from flowing more with your emotions and not letting any one thing pull you down into the depths or even too far into like exuberance and exhilaration, which is what happens on the twin flame journey. The twin flame journey is a roller coaster, right? It's a roller coaster. And what you're learning is how to stop getting on it. Instead of going up and down with this person who promises you the world and then takes it away and promises the world and then takes it away and then promises the world and takes it away. You just get off. And you're like, oh, I know what's wrong. I've been waiting for somebody to give me the world that they've promised, but I need to give myself that world. I need to come into union inside of myself so that nobody can keep me on a roller coaster. The person that I'm interested in right now, they have some stuff to work through. I wasn't let down. I wasn't in any kind of roller coaster because when I arrived at the same place as them and communicated with them about where we were, I was already whole. I was already doing this Empress shit. And so I was like, okay, take your time. I got shit to do. I'm working on getting a car. I'm working on getting back to the East Coast and being able to go back and forth West Coast to East Coast easily financially. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm working on myself. I'm working on loving myself, giving myself what I need, and attracting somebody just like you because you're fucking incredible. And you told me that you wanted to have somebody as incredible as me, basically. So if I'm that person, I'm here for it. If I'm not, somebody just like you, 0.20 is coming. How do I know? Because I already experienced it on the twin flame journey. I already got 2.0, and that one communicates, right? So you were better, babes. That's where we're at. And feeling protected, that your union is protected, that even if you don't end up with the twin, even if you let go and move on from being in any kind of a union with the twin, you are always in that union in the self. You always have that love for that person. It doesn't diminish you to not be in physical union with them. That's what you're learning, which is great. All right, let's get to the divine masculine side. Now we are going to rebuild. So we have just released, and now we can rebuild. So the general energy surrounding rebuilding for the masculine energy right now is the 4 of Cups in reverse and the 2 of Cups upright. Now, what was the hidden assistance? The Two of Cups in reverse. What does the masculine want to do? He wants to take the dreams. This is the Four of Cups. This is fantasy dreams, not accepting an offer. He wants to actually accept the offer and come into physical union. So the person you were focused on that you didn't come into union with, this was your hidden assistance. Why? So that the true divine masculine can actually accept an offer of love and give an offer of love and come into physical union with you. What's the hidden assistance? The moon and judgment. The moon is what will soothe you right now. As you're going through the release process, it is also your hidden assistance. So, secrets, mystery, the unknown. This is something that bothered you. Not knowing, not understanding, having fear of judgment, right? Fear of facing this music, which is when something dies, it faces judgment so it can be reborn, right? And this is the hidden assistance for the masculine. The things that he has kept secret finally coming to light, facing the music. There's salvation here and awakening. This is being asleep also and waking up. This is what's really helping the masculine to be like, oh my God, I've been in a living hell. I've been in a living hell where I have not been communicating my emotions, where I have not been truthful in my integrity. And I can't do this anymore. I want to seek forgiveness. I want to be forgiven for the secrets I have kept. What past experience challenges me in the rebuilding process? The Seven of Wands, upright, and the Daughter of Wands, upright in the heart space. This is the Page of Wands that Divine Feminine was challenged by, right? This is what she is having trouble with. Instigating or feeling these feelings again for a specific king. And she's guarding her heart, right? So divine masculine, what's challenging the masculine is that the heart is being guarded. And this is by the Daughter of Wands energy, which is that feminine Page of Wands we saw for her. It's like she's guarding her heart because the specific king caused that she couldn't let go of, caused that Five of Swords energy. She was defeated by him. So she's been defeated so many times that she's guarding her heart. This is what challenges the rebuilding process. Because her heart has been challenged so much and she's guarding it, it is hard to feel a spark, to have new love, to have a new idea, new inspiration about the connection. This can also indicate that the masculine may have a daughter. There could be an energy of a child or a daughter that is not wanting the masculine to choose a feminine energy, to choose the divine feminine, because, you know, it will disrupt her world, or she might envision like her parents getting back together. There's like those kind of elements that are coming there too. That can be challenging the masculine gendered person. Or actually not even just the gendered person, but just the masculine energy. There could be a child that's not wanting to have to share or something, or see what they want, what they desire, end up dying. So that message is also present, I believe. What can I do right now to build my confidence? Three of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Swords in reverse. It's time to face your fears about partnership, buddy. It's time to change this fear that tears you up, that keeps you from doing the things you want to do. And it's probably this fear of making this a real physical thing, a 3D thing, actually bringing this into the reality. And it can be some worries and anxieties that you need to release regarding your destiny or your fate. If you're very attached to the twin story, you're like, this is my destiny. And it's like, so like, what do you mean? How do you know? Even if that person is your destiny, how do you know what the journey to that person is supposed to be like? Isn't the whole thing destiny? Right? What possible future challenges could arise? The World in reverse and the Five of Swords. Right there. So this continuing to feel defeated, continuing to engage in cycles that harm ourselves, continuing to do self-harming behaviors, or feeling defeated by something, feeling like out of your control or like chaotic, being indecisive about how to end the cycle with the person or complete the cycle with the person. Our thoughts are the villain here. The thoughts getting in the way of our completion. We need to clean up the thoughts. It can be karmic cleanup, like cleaning up the people in our lives or cleaning up the thoughts about who we are or who we think we are. What past behaviors have destabilized me? Here's the Death card, upright, coming out with the High Priestess. And the Three of Swords upright, coming out with the Ten of Cups in reverse. So, trusting ourselves, trusting, I think, in the divine feminine, in the connection with the divine feminine enough to actually become unentangled. Like, this is like bondage being tied together. And so a past relationship dying, this can also be the twin. This is a twin flame card too. This is the High Priestess and the Chariot are often associated with the twin flame because of the two pillars. And so it can be the death of the twin flame story and like the entanglement and the wounds that has caused, holding us back from our real fulfillment. Losing the feminine for the masculine energy. It's interesting because it's a heartache card, but there's no heart in it. It's like there was no love in whatever you had in the past. Like maybe just the feminine energy in general, like wounds you received where you felt unloved or abandoned. But this is how you act, because this is what past behaviors have destabilized you. So that might be the reason why you engage in these behaviors. This, I think, is, look at the feminine is clutching to somebody who is dead here. So maybe this is just like being a ghost to the feminine and engaging with her only in this ethereal way, like this 5-dimensional, which is not a place. It's like it's a consciousness. So this like only being in that limbo with her, keeping her entangled by making promises of a future that never arrives. What can I do now to avoid this and stabilize? This is the Hanged Woman or the Hanged Man card from the Tattoo Tarot. And also this is the Wild Unknown Tarot. I think I forgot to say what decks I was using. This is the Six of Swords. It's interesting because this is about the divine feminine gaining perspective. And normally this is masculine because it's the Hanged Man. I mean, it even says the Hanged Man, but we see a feminine energy that suspended herself. And we see this, the transformation energy that is the theme of the overall reading is here. And spreading its wings and flying away, it looks like its wings would be cut, like it would not be able to fly. And it's also suspended, right? Because normally this is a boat. This is a card that has like a boat in it. And oh, this is the Eight of Swords. I was going to say, wait, I don't understand. There's no boat. The Eight of Swords. So this is protecting yourselves, boundaries. Okay, I see now. Okay. So, what you can avoid. Yes. Okay. So allowing the feminine to get the perspective she needs and respecting those healthy boundaries as she's going through this process of transformation. Because look, both the feminine energy is suspended and this butterfly here. It's like giving the feminine the space she needs that was given to you, right? And looking at things from her perspective, transforming how you see things, like being more empathetic to the, in general, feeling more compassion about how it feels for the feminine to be in this energy. And it is about maintaining healthy boundaries as well. So what future prospects do I have to look forward to once I rebuild and stabilize? The Eight of Swords, which we just saw, and the Two of Pentacles in reverse. This is interesting because it's what you need to do to avoid behaviors. So it's saying if you do these things, it's ending this back and forth dynamic because you have established healthy boundaries in regards to how you interact with the feminine energy. This means if you can't keep the promises that you make, you don't make the promises, right? You don't entangle yourself with feminine energy and blind yourself to the way that it feels to be on the hook for someone who doesn't really have intentions with you, but it's just playing, right? Just playing. Interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the oracles portion. We are only going to be doing 3 oracles each. We'll start with the feminine energy. She is getting Buffalo Spirit's protection message. The abundant universe will provide. Oh, it's here. And this is number 10, which is that completion energy. So this is the message for the week for the feminine to help release. When Buffalo Spirit visits you with the message of protection, he is asking you to shift your thinking from poverty consciousness to one where you trust the universe will provide. Have you been falling into financial insecurity, worrying that there will not be enough money in the future? Have you been stressing and feeling sorry for yourself, worrying that because you have no romantic relationship now, you will never have one? Do you see scarcity where there is in fact abundance? Are you comparing yourself to others and falling short? Self-pity, entitlement, fear, and lack are all thought viruses that seduce you into darkness. Buffalo Spirit nudges you to make a gratitude list and be mindful of your thoughts at this time. This is the key from this card. Even if outer events have happened to challenge your beliefs in abundance, outer conditions are temporary. If you are suffering from the malaise of fear that you are impoverished, realize that it is only poverty of perception and perspective. Prayer, communion with your higher power, and gratitude coupled with compassionate, selfless service will snap you right out of it. Give to someone who has less than you. Be thankful for the tiniest things and say affirmations. Then you will remember abundance is the true nature of the world. So, also it's 10, which is like a Wheel of Fortune card, and it was in reverse, and that to me is like changes, making changes, and embracing that you need to like get on the wheel and let the wheel turn. Go where it takes you. Don't resist it. The healing process for the feminine is coming from the White Light Oracle. It is the Karma of Kutuala. We get this one frequently. This is 43. It's like the twins pass this one back and forth. Your sacred soul passion is powerful enough to shift the state of your inner reality and your outer experience. So commit to what truly ignites your heart and do not be dissuaded by anything or anyone. If you are seeking to make a commitment, do so when it truly connects you to your heart. Follow your genuine, meaningful bliss. Know that no matter what appears to be, you shall prevail. You shall arise. Interesting. It says here, there is inherent wisdom in Kutuala. Let yourself be truly excited and inspired. And remember, your Page of Wands was in reverse as you were having trouble tapping into the excitement for a specific person. Okay. Let yourself be truly excited and inspired. Allow yourself to stumble, to not know, to become the holy mess that precedes sacred rebirth. When your attraction is deep and soulful, you will have the capacity to stay the course even through difficulties. Don't allow the ego to tell you that the struggle must be a sign a path isn't right for you, and thus drag you away in search of a substitute paradise. This oracle guides you towards spiritual empowerment, your ability even today to create something positive, gracious, loving. What ways of being and which practices would enhance your ability to be a generator of positive karma this lifetime? Small steps can lead you to great accomplishments when we stick to a path. Be patient in your passion, and you shall go far. This oracle encourages you to recognize that in its own inimitable way, spirit is practical. It just tends to go via the deliriously rapturous, astonishing, and deeply healing route. Trust what you love and let your heart lead you. You and your life shall become luminous, sanctified in the grace of alchemical transformation. An unexpected and miraculous arising is at hand. I love that card. It's a beautiful card. Okay. The theme for the feminine for this week, 10:33 on the clock, 6 people in the room, and the 3 of Cups shows up. This is fun, celebration, joy, reunion, union, coming together, dating, friendships, all of it. Pouring out, feeling it, being in it. And if the person that you're focused on can't give you this, bye-bye. No time for it. No time for anybody who cannot give you this in your life. If you are not laughing so much that your face hurts and your belly hurts when you hang out with your person, don't waste the time. All right. Divine Masculine, where are you? Protection message coming up from White Raven Spirit. Trust in the magic. This is 66 card. from the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. It's a very good deck. Says, are you being distracted by the illusion of a chaotic universe? Oh my God, he had the world in reverse too. Deep in your heart, you know the world is full of magic, and White Raven has appeared to remind you that the ways of the world can cause spiritual amnesia. Stay awake and alert, for Spirit wants you to enjoy the miracles all around you. Remember, the evidence of divine order can be seen everywhere. Ask for a sign, and it shall be yours. Synchronicities happen all the time, so if you're in a time of challenge and feeling cynical, all you need to do is ask for a reminder. White Raven will appear to reassure you that all of this is leading to something better, for magic is in the wind. So trust in the magic, Divine Masculine. The healing process for the masculine today comes from the Oracle of Chaldea. This is number 37. It says, continue on your healing journey with enthusiasm, but without forcing things to happen more quickly than feels natural. Sometimes the body will be ready to let go whilst the mind is still holding on. At other times, the mind may need to be patient as the body processes an experience. Trust in your own time and rhythm. There is no need to be impatient or to judge yourself. You are summoning the spiritual fortitude to tackle an issue which has previously held you back. When the time is right, the healing shall happen more easily than if you tried to push forward prematurely. Things are going to work out. Be positive. In this case, this oracle is an encouragement to embrace your readiness and allow the grace of your spiritual journey to expand into all areas of your life. This oracle augurs a spiritual growth spurt, a forward leap on your path of healing and awakening. It is a reminder that no matter how large a challenge may loom, you can continue to grow your spiritual connection. So it is always more powerful than anything else. So take your time to heal, masculine. Don't rush it. The feminine is not going anywhere. Even if she goes into another partnership at this time, if you are meant to be together, you will be together. That is, you had the wheel of fortune. You had divine timing in what will help you build your confidence. Just know that when the time is right, you will see the signs you need and it will happen. And then your theme for this week is disappointment. It is the 5 of Cups. It is, and I love that in the 5s in this deck, which is the Thoth Tarot, they turn the image into the devil, because it's the things that bother us in our mind that are the blockages we have. 5s are blockages. They're not horrible. They're easily overcome because they're just illusions. So disappointment in this regard, it's just you're experiencing this illusion because you're focused on what you don't want, the sadness instead of what you want, the joy. On one side, we have disappointment. On the other side, we have abundance. So really, this card has this card in it, right? All right. And then closing messages, final closing messages for the union. Before I get to those, let me just say, if you'd like to book a personal reading, you can go to pearlsprayers.com. All the links are below. You can send me a deck. You can click support. I'm really trying to raise money for a car and to be able to go home by Christmas to see my son. So if you can be generous this time of year, I would really appreciate it. You can also see there the links to TikTok and Instagram, so you can find me 6 days a week doing live readings, 3-minute readings, mini readings over on TikTok. And then today we're doing this special event in an hour, or a little under an hour. I'm going to be on TikTok live reading personal questions with Grace Strega. So you get 2 readers for one. We're going to read for a whole hour, and then we're going to go over to Instagram and you can do a pick your own personal reading. So we will check in, and then each one of us will do a version of one of the reading styles that we do to give you a personal reading for today. So if you're interested in that, follow me over to TikTok after this YouTube reading at 11:30 Pacific Coast time. Here we go. The final closing message is, you're getting Bobcat Spirit. Life is a mystery. The moon came up a lot today, and there seems to be a bit of mystery about how things are going to go forward. So this is just reiterating that, I believe. Bobcat Spirit tells you this is not a time to reveal your deepest, most cherished dreams and desires to others, but rather a time to be quiet and gentle with yourself as truths begin to emerge in your awareness. Self-protection is called for, so be discerning, selective, and even secretive, revealing no more than is necessary. People have a way of imposing their opinions on you, so pay attention to whom you surround yourself with at this time. Be watchful and check your own motives as well as those of others as you keep your secrets to yourself for now, rather than expose them to those who may potentially misunderstand your intentions or may not be supportive. Let your logical mind take a rest as you start to perceive the energy of your environment. Bobcat Spirits wants you to be stealthy and wise and keep your own counsel. Let yourself be a mystery yet to be revealed. This is about when we tell people, what's going on in our love lives. They have opinions. Those opinions have a hold over us. They tend to reflect doubts we're having a lot. People can sense weakness in others, and there's always power dynamics at play. If there's something you feel a little uncertain of, someone can sense that and pull that out for you and reflect it back to you. Now, it's information that you can use if it doesn't trigger you. If you feel a trigger and you're like, oh, wait, there's something there. There must be some doubt. It can be this way that you can go and find, like, I must be afraid that this person won't come because of this, But there are times when not talking about our manifestation is the best course of action. And this is saying that this is one of them, because when we are in a period where we are by ourselves and we are not communicating about our dreams, there's no one to reflect doubt but ourselves. There's no one to reinforce the doubt. There's no one to reinforce the dream either, but there's no one to reinforce the doubt. And the doubt is the thing that keeps the dream from going forward. So if you decide to wait for your twin because you feel called to do that, don't communicate with your friends and family about it at this point. You definitely want to communicate to your spiritual counselor and your therapist about a decision like that. But in terms of like just the people in your life, that's up to you if that's what you decide. Because I think that you will have a lot easier time with your commitment if you don't have other people weighing in. And this is the Ein Sof 22. And I'm actually going to do the whole healing process for this card to end this reading. So we'll come back to this one, and I'll read the whole thing. But first, let me give you your... Please don't hate me. I'm going to give you a final closing message. It's the Three of Wands. And it means that you need to be patient and that your ships are coming in. Now, the thing about this card is that you can see the ships. So if I look at my own personal experience and I ask myself, what ships can I see? The person that I associated with the twin flame story, he's not in the harbor. Nope. I don't see any material ship. It's another person that's in the harbor. Somebody that I would still have to be patient for because they still have things to work out. But somebody who told me exactly what they needed to work out with a lot of detail, no withholding at all. That's the kind of ship that I want to see. Oh, I'm seeing awesome moment with the lady who designed it. She's amazing. Her name is Sarah Wilkinson. She's an incredible designer. She worked for a company. The whole reason that we were having that party that night at the chateau is because this guy Nathan, who's from the show Misfits, was like they were having like a going away party for Sarah, and then she was going to Montreal to work for another company, and now I think she's returning to London. So, but we've stayed friends ever since, and I met the person that I've been talking to or whatever, I met that night as well. It was such a good night. All right, let's do the healing process now. Thank you to everybody who has made it this far and stays through the healing process. I think it's a really wonderful thing to do for yourself, to give yourself a mini meditation and to invite in a healing energy. Let's look at what we need to heal today. This is the Ein Sof Or. A way through the struggle has already been created for you, and you are being led onto that path. Your authentic soul path may include recognition and acclaim, notable success and admiration. Be grateful, but do not be dazzled or distracted by such experiences. Focus on what connects you to your heart and grounds you in the simplicity of spiritual truth, which is the practice of love, kindness, and peace. This will allow for successful progress in the material world without disturbing the sanctity of your soul. In the mysticism of the Kabbalah, Ein Sof Or is the first and truest light. It emerges from the absolute, which is pure emptiness, beyond all characteristics, phenomena, and form. The capacity to create something from apparently nothing is one of the definitions of magic. Ein Sof Or is the universe pulling rabbits out of hats on a cosmic scale, because the spiritual light emerges from the spaciousness of infinite potentiality. It is imbued with endless creativity, resourcefulness, and spontaneous responsiveness. Whatever is needed is made manifest, provided to the receptive heart, and will benefit all beings. Receptivity is the key to unlocking this white light magic of the spirit. When we are open to it, surrendered to its wisdom, and willing to place that wisdom above our own opinions, we are capable of receiving and benefiting from it. If we are trying to dictate its course, to contrive and control it to meet our needs as we think they should be met, then we are not being receptive. The path of control and dominance is regressive. It is not sacred magic, and it is not of the spirit. Ein Sof Or illuminates the ways of sacred soul magic that create healing and deep fulfillment. It recognizes there is a problem, yet does not dwell on it nor evoke toxic mind games of blame and shame. It focuses on solutions. Underneath fancy words, outlandish claims, and complex doctrines, the light of spirit is recognized by its effect. Genuine spiritual connection helps us outgrow our problems. Ego will tell you a situation is too complicated or someone else is to blame. Or if you could just change this one thing, healing could happen. But when you are in ego, you are not spiritually effective. You will be locked in suffering and confusion. As a human being, you are able to use your free will as you choose. You can focus on the negative and distance yourself from the light, refuse to trust and insist you always know best. You can choose to feel unappreciated, betrayed, or afraid when life does its unpredictable dance. Spirit will love you and seek to help you even when you use your free will in such a way. At any time, you can choose to say, enough of that misery, and open your heart to connect with the higher creative and healing intelligence of the light. No matter how much our wounded minds or broken hearts may believe a situation cannot be healed, Ein Sof Or is always there. It reminds us that whether we can see it or not, there is a spiritual path through all troubles. That path can be so beautiful, we will become profoundly grateful for the struggle which caused us to grow, even if we never wish to repeat the experience. Acknowledgement is the beginning of healing. If something isn't quite right, be kind and wise enough to admit it. Then seek out the genuine light, which will evoke peace in your heart. Have the courage and trust to let go of approaches that will not lead you anywhere worth going. As you open yourself to what is, even the unexpectedly difficult twists of fate, you will become ever closer to the radiant grace and luminous clarity which is reassuring you, healing you, guiding you. and loving you. All right, we'll begin the healing process, and then I'm just going to turn the video off so that you can sit in silence if you want to after that meditation is over. Thank you so much for being with me today, and I will see you at the TikTok at 11:30 today, or else tomorrow morning for the Tell Me Everything spread. Let's begin. Close your eyes. Connect consciously to your body and your breath, and bring yourself fully into this present moment. Imagine you can release all thoughts, fears, and obsessions about your problems or concerns, even if just for this exercise. You could imagine dusting them off your auric field as though you were dusting off little bits of spider web that had become stuck to you whilst walking along a garden path. You may like to play at such spiritual dusting through your energy field for a few moments now. It will increase your clarity of mind and presence in your body. When you are ready, say the following prayer. I call upon the pure light of wisdom, compassion, and divine love. I invite the genius of spiritual grace to enter into my heart, and with mercy, clear the path to the highest loving consciousness. I loosen my mental and emotional grip on fixed opinions and open with trust to the higher wisdom and creative path that will set my heart free. May all beings know such merciful grace and generous assistance for their greatest good. Now, imagine, feel, intend, or visualize that you are resting in a beautiful field of light for as long as feels good for you. As your personal energy field has been cleared and sheltered through your practice thus far, you are now free and able to feel, sense, or perceive the beautiful light which holds you tenderly in its spiritual embrace. When you are ready, gently guide yourself back to this moment by following the flow of your breath in and out. Hydrate and ground yourself. You have completed your healing process.